about the revolution. You talk about this revolution and things of that nature. What formula are you using to prepare for the Great Revolution? Do you have a military? Are you training?
Okay, it's not time for that yet. We are preparing, but we're not preparing in the military arena. Okay, what we are doing is we are preparing the people. We're reaching out to them, bringing to them why these horrors happen, that it's the system, and that it'll take a revolution to end it once and for all. We're working on the thinking of people, like that young man who kept saying love it or leave it, and don't know that that's what George Wallace and the segregationists were saying to Martin Luther King 50 years ago. We're working on the thinking of people, and we are building a vanguard revolutionary leadership. The Revolution Club is part of it. Now, on the question of how would revolution come down, it is not yet time to move into the arena of actual warfare. But it is time to develop a strategic approach to that, how it would happen, what you would need to do, what you should not do. And we've actually done that. And anybody who wants to know the work that we've done should go to the website revcom.us. And look, we are serious about revolution. That's why we don't advocate or engage in violence at this point, and we oppose violence against the people and among the people. We can't fight and kill each other. Okay, I'm gonna get Malcolm X on you. Not enough to do what's necessary. That's why we always recruiting, but we got enough to cause a lot of trouble for these imperialists. And you know that I didn't give you a number because the authorities are trying to figure out how many of them are there and how can we neutralize them. And we've seen what they did to Fred Hampton, murdering him in his bed in Chicago, what they did to other Black Panther leaders, executing them, trumping up charges and throwing them into jail. So we don't give the information on our actual.
You're ready to give this whole thing up, all this whole thing. You're ready to give America up and do it. I am
ready to work to get rid of America and yes, rebuild on the ashes of this messed up system and actually.
And what would we call it? What would we call it?
We would call it socialism. A system where people work, everybody has a useful work to do on a lot of different levels. Some of it in the arts, some of it in culture, some of it in education, some in science, some in production, because homeless people need homes. A lot of poor people need real medical facilities, and we could put people to work building that. We would be moving towards a classless communist world where everybody owns the wealth of society in common, where we work in common for the common good, not for personal profit.
Listen to this right here. With Russia, it didn't work in Russia years ago. Then how is it going to work?
It was overthrown in Russia, in part because the imperialists surrounded it and worked against it.
How do we know it was overthrown in China? Take it over. How do we know greed sets in?
That is why we published a constitution for a future socialist republic in North America. We want people to know what we are aiming to do, what it would look like after the revolution, what direction it would be going, how the government would work, how the economy would work, how education, culture and arts, because that is the guarantee for moving things forward.
Okay, in your journey of starting over, if the revolution is successful, who is going to be in charge of the nuclear missiles that's here?
Okay, we would actually get rid of the nuclear missiles. Nuclear missiles are weapons of mass destruction. Revolutionaries should not utilize such weapons.
If you get rid of them, then how you know, what's the guarantee that another country that have them wouldn't come in and take and use them against you?
We would have to rely on people in that country not standing for that shit. But a weapon like that is one that as a revolutionary we feel we could not use, because see, that's not a weapon that you can use against the imperialist enemy. It kills hundreds of thousands of people indiscriminately. Morally, we feel as revolutionary communists, we could not do that. So we have said out front, and it's in the Constitution, we will forswear America's nuclear technology, and we would call on every other country to do the same, because no human being should push the button to incinerate 100,000 people. There's no justification for it.
Thank you.
I am Carl Dix, representative of the Revolutionary Communist Party, and you are?
BASA News, BASA News on YouTube.
BASA News on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Okay, let me give you my card.
NASA, and then think about, I'm going to call you because I want to come and do an in-depth interview with you. I'm from the state of New Jersey. Are you from here?
I'm based in New York.
What part of New York? Oh, you're right around the corner from me. I'm in Newark.
Okay, so hit me either via email or on Twitter.
Yes, I'll get you.
Either one of those ways we get me.
BASA, BASA News. Reorganizing and marching away. See, I had an in-depth conversation with one that I really believe that it's time to end America and start all over again. That right there is from one of the generals in the Communist Party that I talked to here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Again, this is